Am I the bad guy for not allowing my late husband's affair partner come to his funeral? 3 weeks ago, my husband died in a car accident halfway across the country. He said he was going to a work trip, but we later found out that all of that was just another one of his lies and he was actually on a cheating trip. Something he'd seemingly been doing for at least the past 5 years. So yeah. It's been a very fun few weeks. Feel fantastic. Our kids are 7 female, 14 male and 19 male. Only the eldest knows about the affair, and we all agreed to keep it to ourselves. The problem lies with his partner. She wanted to be involved. I told her that wouldn't be possible, and she should respect our privacy. Even putting my feelings aside, though he's trying to be strong for his younger siblings, my eldest is battling with his anger and grief. Having her there would only cause problems. Regardless, she was there when we arrived at the graveyard standing some distance away. But she was still close enough to everyone to just make her stand out, as if she wants to be seen. I told my brother, and he removed her without causing too much of a scene. Afterwards she sent me a text, which summarized basically, called me selfish for blocking her from being there, and saying I robbed her of the chance to say goodbye properly. For some reason this is slightly bothering me. I found myself justifying my actions to myself repeatedly since receiving that text. I still believe I did what was right, and put my kids first. She had no business there, and her presence would only cause drama. She could always go to his grave whenever she wants to say goodbye. Was I the bad guy? And now for the top comments. Not the bad guy. If she wants to say goodbye properly, she can pay for a memorial service of her own. Having an affair with someone, who already has a spouse and children, has drawbacks. Not being welcomed at weddings, funerals, and other family functions is one of them. She cannot plausibly claim to be surprised at being asked to leave. Want to be really mean? Text her back saying, I'm trying to grieve my husband. It would not be appropriate for you, or his other girlfriends to be attending. Why are you the only one of his side pieces who could not understand to leave us alone in our time of grief? Let her see how it feels to get cheated on. This level of petty is just poetic justice. Not the bad guy. She was playing around knowingly with a married man who had a family, and now she has the nerve to call you the selfish one? No sympathy for her. You do what you need to do to protect your kids and family. Not the bad guy. She should be absolutely ashamed of herself. I get she's grieving, but so is his family, who just lost a husband and father, and now also have to deal with the fact that he was unfaithful. And she wouldn't be grieving if she didn't mess around with him in the first place. If she had any class at all, she would stay away. And please, for the love of God, keep the lawyers close in case she comes knocking, claiming she's with child and demanding money. And now for the next story. Am I the bad guy for not wanting to let my friend have my wedding dress? I, 32 female, am 16 weeks pregnant with my first child. My husband Howie, 36 male, and I are very excited for this child, especially after having an early miscarriage back in September. One of my biggest fears is weight gain. I'm already not small, but not huge either. I'm smaller than the average-sized American woman, but could lose about 10 to 20 pounds, to give you an idea. I was already concerned about my weight before I got pregnant, so now the idea of losing my pre-pregnancy weight, on top of whatever I gain now, is stressful. Howie wants to lose weight too. We decided to pick an outfit we'd like to try to fit in again, after the baby arrives, to meet our weight goal. Howie chose the outfit from the day we met, and I chose my wedding dress from our April 2022 wedding. My friend May, 34 female, is getting married to her fiancé, Joe, 37 male, in September of this year. I've gone with her dress shopping a couple of times, but she hasn't been able to find one that she likes. I discovered over the weekend that the dress she actually wanted was mine, and she was looking for one similar, but couldn't find it. May then asked me if she could borrow mine. I said I don't want my dress altered for any reason because it's mine, and I made a lot of customizations to it. It truly is my dress, and no one has one like it. But May told me she's in a bind, because there's not much time to order a dress and have it altered in the time for her wedding. I felt bad, but told her no. I don't want anyone wearing it, period. May kept pressing about it, and I also told her it wasn't just because it's mine, but because of the weight loss idea my husband and I had. May is 2 wedding dress sizes larger than me. I also have an hourglass figure, where May is more shaped like an apple, no insults. But it's just how she looks. Plus, my dress still fits me. I'm just anticipating it won't after giving birth, and I want to make that my weight loss outfit. If I let her borrow it, it would have to be altered so much that it wouldn't be mine anymore. May told me I had an entire wardrobe to choose from, and no one fits their dress after a few years anyway. She also said that baby weight usually doesn't go away, she has 2 kids. And that I should be thinking about her wedding. I still said no. But a few minutes ago, I got a text from Howie asking me if I agreed to give her my dress. I said no. And Howie sent me a screenshot from Joe saying, Howie can bring my dress over when he gets off work, and thanked me for being so generous. So, it sounds to me like May told Joe I agreed, when I didn't. Now Joe is angry because he thinks I changed my mind. Howie told him, I never agreed. Now May is texting me, asking why I'm so attached to a dress, and saying I'm not being a good friend, because I'm more interested in a material item than her happiness. But I feel like this is self-explanatory. It's my dress. The end. Am I insane? And now for the top comments. Not the bad guy. It's your dress. She just doesn't want to pay for a dress. May is getting married in September. It is February. That's plenty of time to buy a dress and have it fitted. Not the bad guy. Not the bad guy. Doesn't matter if she had the exact same body as you did. It was yours, and you don't have to give it to her. She just wants to save money, and is trying to guilt you into giving her your dress so she doesn't have to pay for one. Even if it were a $10 Target shirt she wanted to borrow, you don't have to say yes. And she's trying to manipulate you and your husband. She's not a good friend. But don't get hung up on fitting it again. You're not insane. May seems to have reached bizarro land, with all the trimmings. You have explained why this is a bad idea quite clearly. She is now manipulating you. She's gone bridezilla, and time for you cut links. Not the bad guy. And now for the next story. Am I the bad guy for letting my father cause a huge scene at my engagement party and embarrassing my future mother-in-law? My father has many faults. I am well aware of these, and therefore tend to keep our interactions private. I still love him, and I have developed a system to keep him from effing me over. When my fiancé asked me to marry him, I said yes. And then, I went and privately told my dad about it. We had a nice dinner with my fiancé, and that was that. My future mother-in-law wanted to have an engagement party. I was fine with it. I just requested that she not invite my father. I explained that we had a strained relationship, and that I preferred to keep him at a distance. She agreed. I guess she thought she knew better than me. She wanted to fix our relationship, and the first step was inviting him to her home for a party with alcohol. When I met my dad for dinner, I specifically chose a restaurant that didn't have a liquor license. And we went right after work. His car has a breathalyzer built in to make it start. I know what would happen otherwise. When I saw my dad there, my stomach flipped. I asked her what was going on, and she said that a good daughter would want her dad there on this important day. I asked her to please make him leave. She said I was being rude. I went over to my dad and asked him to leave. He promised to behave. He was so happy to be invited. I told my fiancé that I might need to leave in a hurry, and he had to come with me when I left. He knows the whole story. He agreed. My father was fine at the beginning. Then wine came around. I glared at him and shook my head, no. He took some. Then more. Then more. He started getting happy. That doesn't last. After dinner, there were drinks. As soon as I heard him raise his voice, I asked my fiancé to leave. I faked a stomach problem and we left. The least embarrassing thing he did was piss himself and puke on the lawn. My future mother-in-law is furious. She said that we should have told her that my father has a drinking problem. I said that it wouldn't have been a problem if she hadn't lied to my face about not inviting him. My father is humiliated that he did this. I am just numb. My uncle has no problem controlling my dad. He is a cop, and he has come to several events with my dad where he kept him from drinking. My older brother's wedding, for example. But he lives in another city. He would have been at the wedding. I'm just angry that she lied, and I'm embarrassed, and I'm venting here because I need someone to tell me I'm not the bad guy for not wanting to tell people my father is like this. And now for the top comments. Not the bad guy. The why of your estrangement from your father and reluctance to have him at your engagement party is none of future mother-in-law's business. She thought she was being so clever, in short, she effed around and found out. Now your engagement party enters the realm of family legend, and not in a good way. Not the bad guy. When someone says, "Do not invite this person," you don't go behind their backs. She had no right to question why you wouldn't want him there, and if she did want to know why, she could have asked you, or her child, if she didn't feel comfortable asking you. It's 100% her fault for inviting someone you gave clear instructions not to. I'm sorry this happened, but hope you have a wonderful wedding. Not the bad guy. You saved your future mother-in-law the embarrassment of your father, by politely telling her not to invite him. She disregarded that. She doesn't deserve what happened in theory, but she effing does for not listening to you. Sorry OP. Not the bad guy. And I hope your future husband has a serious conversation about boundary crossing with his mom before you are married. People's ideas about other people's estrangements is their own problem. And should be kept to themselves. Thanks for visiting our channel. Before you leave, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment down below. We'd love to hear some of your thoughts here. See you again soon.